Hello beautiful people, welcome to the channel. Reverend Debbie here, hope you're doing well. Today's video, how Andrew Tate's manosphere influence is affecting our youth. Now this video is based on two articles that were in newspapers over the weekend. The first one was in the Mirror, the Irish Mirror, the second in the Mail on Sunday. The first article from the Mirror is all to do with a young teenaged boy, I'm just pulling up the article now, who was obsessed with Andrew Tate's posts. He was obsessed with Andrew Tate. He obviously spent a lot of time on the internet, on social media, and felt that this is the way that he should live his life, according to Andrew Tate's cults and teachings. This young boy, and my heartfelt sympathies go out to the family of this lady who was unalived, Miss Lorna Woodnut. She was bludgeoned to death by this 16-year-old at the time. He's 17 now. And yes, he did have mental health issues, but not everybody with mental health issues goes and bludgeons somebody around the head. So he had autism, and a lot of autistic people do become fixated on one thing, so it was probably easier for him to do that. However, there are other cases around the world of this kind of thing happening as well, which I'll talk about in the next article. So this young man has been sentenced, I believe, to 36 years, for life. He's been sentenced for life, and he's going to be checked every 2 years for his mental health status and how he's doing. So that's great. That's fair enough. You know, he's gone to prison. He committed that crime. He's gone to prison. That's good. But the problem is, would he have done that if he hadn't have had access to such influences as Tate? Tate professes to be this huge misogynist, and he is, literally, from what I've seen, from everything, all the videos that I've watched and the countless interviews that I've watched, and you know, I've really been investigating this whole story. And his influence is so great. A lot of young men look up to him because he was a 4-time world champion kickboxer and has fast cars and so on and so on and so on. But he hates women. And this is where the problem is coming in, is that half of this world is female and misogyny is on the rise. And it's important that we as women stand up for ourselves. So this article that was in the Mail, misogynist schoolboys face terror unit probes. Okay, that's typical Mail headline there. This is basically what the government want to do. Yvette Cooper, she wants to, she's the Home Secretary, she wants to use the already existing PREVENT program, which looks out for and reports on Islamophobic and right-wing influences within schools already. So that's already in place. So to include in that misogynistic thought patterns and words and so on, I think is a good thing. Yes, it puts extra strain onto the whole system, but if these things are taught from a young age and stopped, then this won't be needed in the future, because young boys and young men are feeling disenfranchised with life at the moment. A lot of young women are not interested in having a relationship, and a lot of young men think that they have the right to have a relationship. I'm going to talk more on this subject over the coming weeks. I've got a huge amount of literature that I've been going through, so there will be way more videos on this kind of topic. So she wants this PREVENT unit that already exists to take on the misogyny complaints and words that are used in school, such as women belong in the kitchen. Well, no, women don't belong in the kitchen, not anymore. Women can do whatever they like, just as men can. And I see that a lot of men are really becoming upset with this and thinking that it's their right as men to have a woman who will cook for them, clean for them, and be their sex slave. And that may well have been the case in the 1950s, but it's not like that anymore. Women don't want that kind of... Some women do. I'm not saying all women. Some women do, and that's fine. But the vast majority of us are not interested in that. We want to have our lives and live them. Our mothers fought and grandmothers fought for these rights. Don't let these misogynists take them away. So basically it says here, if a young person... Hang on a second, sorry, just scoot it over there. Now I've just missed it. If there is a young person who is showing signs of extreme misogyny to an extent that it can be regarded as extremism, then it's a very good idea to deal with it as soon as possible. But it should not be a routine. No, it shouldn't be a routine. It shouldn't even exist. Shouldn't even exist. So I'm backing Yvette Cooper's idea here, because I don't want the women that come after me to suffer this kind of abuse. But it should not be a routine, as he said. Prevent is not there for every expression of a thought that might be misogynistic. And yes, that's true. However, as I say, half of the world is female, and we are the ones that suffer from this crime that is perpetuated over time, constantly. It never ends. It never has. For the last 2,000, 10,000 years, this hatred of women has been going on. This women are slaves. And we need to take that back. And if this sort of thing carries on, if we have influencers like Andrew Tate out there doing this kind of thing, where are we heading? Excuse me. So-called incels, or involuntary celibate men who aggressively blame women on them being single, have been behind a number of mass shootings in America. But in Britain, there has been one such recorded case, that of Jack Davison, 22, who shot dead 5 victims in Plymouth in 2021 before killing himself. Experts say misogyny is at an all-time high in schools and sixth form colleges as a result of social media influencers like Tate, a former kickboxing champion who has more than 10 million followers on Twitter, and whose videos have been watched more than 12 billion times on TikTok. And there are videos on YouTube and everywhere. The 36-year-old who says women are intrinsically lazy and barely sentient beings is currently awaiting trial in Romania for sex with a minor, human trafficking and money laundering. I'm not going to talk more about that, because that's coming up when I do my review of this and all the extra stuff that goes on after that. Yes, there you have a man saying that women are lazy and that we're unintelligent, when, you know, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say to that, because women are not lazy. Women of the 50s, for example, were cleaning the house, looking after the kids, cooking for the husband, Then women in the 70s started going to work. So it was all of that, looking after the kids and going to work. 80s, 90s, we had the yuppie era that I was part of, where we went out to work, did the housework, looked after the kids, and the husband was probably on a completely different shift. And why should the woman be the one that has to look after the kids and do all the housework? That's not the way it works in modern marriages and modern partnerships. Half. The men who are wanting this kind of relationship don't want intelligent women. They don't want women my age either. They want young women. They want women that they can mould and manipulate into what they want them to. And I'm going to be talking about that, as I say, in upcoming videos. But I did have a conversation this week with somebody who, and it was about this article, who had said that feminism is making the world crumble. Please show me where that is the case. Please present me some statistics, facts, qualitative, quantitative. I really don't mind. Just give me some facts on that, because the world is ruled by men who, in the words of Shirley Manson, have made a fucking mess.